I'm not singing today. You're welcome. I am, however, delivering on the promise of beautiful fabric matched up with a Girl Scout plus liquor pairing that is delicious. So you're welcome for that too. I'm in love with this particular combination, so I'm excited to share it with you. So the source of inspiration for today's episode of what are we gonna do during quarantine are Girl Scout cookie Dosidoes. This is a little peanut butter sandwich kind of cookie, and I'm super excited to share what I have found that it goes with. But in the spirit of figuring out what Girl Scout cookie Dosidoes go with, they happen to also go with Sonic and Square One. There are a bunch of beautiful matchups that sort of echo this orangey goldenrod color. And I'll move this forward for you so you can see the Sonic better. I love this pattern. It's a fairly new release, and just the sort of dancing quality just makes my heart happy. And I think in this case, Square One serves as a really great, almost rhythmic baseline for the waves of Sonic to somewhat bounce across. And I will mention that if you have a piece of furniture that's got kind of a larger tableau across which to spread the Sonic, it looks fantastic. It just gives it a place to really shine. So before we get to the cookies plus liquor, let's continue to take a look at how we've celebrated that sort of goldenrod color and the inspiration for our boards. Closest to me are Bali, Sink, and Fiji. These three are Sunbrella contract. So just, a quick aside about that. The obvious application for a sunbrella is going to be outside, but they're also fantastic by a bank of windows. If you have heavy glazing where your furniture is going to see a lot of light gain, defending against that with a sunbrella is a fabulous move. Up here we have cashmere, which is a vinyl wall covering. I think the light color addresses the light in the Bali and adds a great kind of punch on this board. On the far side we have Linnea and Elevado and Raya. That's part of a collection called Tintura where the Raya is sort of the central piece of that, and there are companion textures that go with. It's really beautiful texture, moderately priced. I love that one. And then on the far side, we have two recent release vinyls, both from Insight, which if you're seeking a linen texture or need something where there's a vast array of colors, fabulous choices to look at. The next board is featuring Sonic once again, this time kind of foiled against the geometry of Compass, which is right here with the circles. Encore addresses the orange in Compass, great velvet. We've talked about that recently. It's a newer release in the 20s, so it's a fabulous price point on that one. Great Wall up here, a little bit of a texture. I'll move out closer so that you can see the visual texture on that. And then in the bottom is Emerson. It's sort of in the same category in my head in some ways as the Encore. Both of these are extremely modestly priced, vast array of colors, and really great value for the money. So if you are looking to kind of find a price point item for your project, it's a great idea. So I'm gonna move this to the other side and talk a little bit about Intuition over here, which is a vinyl wall covering. It's one of my new favorites. It's a relatively recent release. And then Aberdeen, which is a new vinyl release. I'm gonna move this closer so you can actually see. So at the top with the Intuition, you can see this sort of linear pattern here. I wouldn't call it a plaid, but it starts to suggest what Aberdeen comes even closer to suggesting, which is sort of this interlaced linear plaid-like patterning. I just kind of love that level of detail, and that you can tie pieces of your space together in such a way that it unfolds over time, where somebody might notice something on the 12th visit that they didn't notice the first time. I think that's kind of cool. So we've looked at the pretties, let's talk about the yummies. Let's go back to our Dosidoes. I mentioned peanut butter sandwich. If you happen to find yourself bereft of the official Girl Scout cookie Dosidoe, you can punt to a Nutter Butter and it works just fine. So what did we pair this with? We paired it with Box, the Nighthawk Black Red Blend. It's important to note that you want the red blend specifically because there's another Nighthawk Black that is the Cabernet. You want the blend for this. And honestly, I'm sure that you are probably, if you haven't tried this, you're like, that is a very humble selection, which I will admit it is. But it's delicious. It's the red blend I mentioned from Nighthawk Black. It's very fruit forward. not much tannin on the back end, which for the case, or for the purposes of this circumstance, is perfect. Because, to their own description, it's bold, dark, and jammy. Jammy equals jelly plus peanut butter. You got yourself a PB&J, straight up old school. So good. Yum. Dig it. I hope you guys like the matchup. I will be curious to hear any feedback from anybody who tries it. And until the next time, hope everything stays good with you guys and everybody's hanging in there okay. I've got more Girl Scout cookie and liquor coming for you. Bye.